Philip Miller, the last man on Earth, is living his best life post-apocalypse. Because who wouldn't want to be surrounded by the sweet scent of loneliness? Phil, the Lone Ranger, takes a delightful road trip across America, making grand announcements to his invisible fan base and collecting artifacts like he's the last-minute contestant on a reality show. Failed attempts to find fellow humans? No problem. Back to Tucson, his hometown, where he declares his existence on every billboard. Because, someone might have missed the memo. And then, the piece de resistance, a gated community in the ritzy part of town. Phil, the connoisseur of style, picks the biggest house and turns it into a makeshift museum of stolen treasures. But hold on, there's more to this gripping saga. Phil takes a casual stroll to the grocery store in his underwear, showcasing his newfound fashion sense. Armed with a gun, he breaks in, cause why bother with doors when you're the king of your own wasteland? And let's not forget his newfound habit of forgetting basic decency. Destroying cans, grabbing adult films. It's all fair game now that there's no one around to raise an eyebrow. To spice up his days, Phil indulges in riveting activities like racquetball with his imaginary friend, himself, turning lamps and aquariums into bowling pins and staging car crashes. Because nothing says mental stability like chaos-induced adrenaline. Fast forward a bit, and Phil's losing his sanity faster than a balloon loses air. Alone on his birthday, he's hit with a wave of nostalgia for the good old days when he had a mom and, other humans to annoy him. Cut to a few months later, and Phil's lavish mansion has transformed into a masterpiece of trash. Plastic, cans, and a distinct lack of hygiene paint the picture of a man who's fully embraced his inner wild beast. Showers? Who needs them? Toilets? Overrated. Phil, the innovator, opts for a pool as his personal restroom, and a kiddie pool filled with margaritas becomes his dual-purpose bath and beverage holder. Classy. But the real kicker? Phil draws faces on balls, assigns them names and personalities, and chats them up at the bar. Because who needs real friends when you've got balls with Sharpie smiles? And let's not forget Gary, the ball with dreams, taken on a romantic escapade to a clothing store to hit on a mannequin. Love knows no boundaries, especially in a world of one. Hats off to you, Phil, the ultimate survivor in style. Oh, grab your tissues for this emotional roller coaster. So Philip, our melodramatic hero, loses his mind because he breaks the arm of the mannequin by mistake. I mean, who wouldn't contemplate the meaning of life over a broken plastic arm? In a spectacular turn of events, Philip decides he's had enough and heads to a nearby hill for the grand finale. But wait, a plot twist. Smoke on the horizon saves him from his own melodrama. The hero instinct kicks in, and off he goes to investigate. Because clearly, smoke equals civilization in this post-apocalyptic world. The smoke plays tour guide, leading him straight to a trailer. And lo and behold, what's the grand discovery? A bra, casually sunbathing like it's on a beach vacation. Naturally, he decides to indulge in a deep inhale, expecting the sweet aroma of fabric softener. But plot twist. His brain went on a joyous journey to the land of enchanting curves, and suddenly the excitement level skyrocketed. In a surprising turn of events, his pants decided they also wanted in on the action and joined the overflow party. Now, the real kicker. He wakes up to a dreamy kiss from a beautiful girl. Ah, the romance. But hold your horses. It's just a dream, folks. The reality check hits hard as he discovers the girl in front of him is less attractive and, horror of horrors, older. CPR, not romance, is on the agenda. Talk about a buzzkill. As they awkwardly part ways, Philip's main concern isn't the life-saving CPR but his wet underpants. His ingenious excuse? He was swimming from the front side. Bravo, Philip, you've truly mastered the art of denial. After a brief panic, they introduce themselves. The less dreamy girl is Carol, a former analyst turned wanderer. She came all the way here because of an Alive in Tucson sign. And Philip, despite his yearning for female company, isn't thrilled about Carol. Why? Well, she's the grammar police, doesn't get jokes, and spews irrelevant chatter like a broken faucet. In their thrilling adventure to the grocery store, Carol complains about Philip crossing a stop sign. Traffic rules. People. Even in a world where civilization has crumbled, we can't let anarchy reign. Philip argues that there's no traffic, but Carol, the rule enforcer, insists they follow the rules, or there will not be any difference between them and an animal. In a bid to make Carol feel better, Philip performs the heroic act of checking both sides of the road at a sign. Because, safety first. But of course, her nagging persists when they reach the grocery store, and Philip boldly parks in the handicap spot. Why? Well, according to him, the imaginary handicapped person has tons of parking space. Genius logic. The pinnacle of their harmonious relationship unfolds as Philip drives the vehicle straight into the store. Classy. Next, Carol takes a delightful tour of Philip's house, featuring not one but two swimming pools, one filled with feces and the other with garbage. But hey, who needs cleanliness when you're the last people on Earth? Despite their charming house tour, Philip kindly suggests Carol go back to her campsite. However, the next morning, he wakes up to the horror of Carol cleaning up his mess. She nags him into getting gardening and cleaning supplies because, apparently, they need to start living like actual human beings. What a novel idea. As the night falls, Philip seeks solace with his ball buddies, comparing his day with Carol to a married couple in dire need of a divorce. But wait, there's more. The next morning, Philip's nightmare intensifies as Carol moves into the house next door. His attempts to shoo her away are futile because, surprise, Carol is stubborn. To address the awkward tension, she brings up the topic of reproduction, claiming they are the chosen ones to repopulate the earth. Philip, ever the charmer, declares he wouldn't sleep with her even if she were the last woman on Earth, which, in this scenario, she is. In a shocking turn of events, Philip finds himself in his outdoor toilet when Carol approaches, demanding running water for their house. When he refuses, she attempts bribery with fresh tomatoes. But fear not, Philip's principles remain intact, except when darkness falls and he sneaks into her garden to feast on her vegetables. Days later, Carol abandons her quest for decency, resorting to making an outdoor toilet in a fountain, inspired by Philip's innovative swimming pool toilet. Deep conversations about the purpose of life ensue, and they come to the profound realization that they can't even arrange a toilet in their million-dollar mansions, let alone create a human civilization. In an unexpected turn of events, Philip, moved by Carol's newfound pessimism, heads to the city's water tank and miraculously arranges a way to water her garden. Because, even in a world devoid of purpose, we must not neglect the tomatoes. What a heartwarming tale of love and, well, mostly tomatoes. Oh, grab your popcorn for this riveting romantic saga. So, Carol, in a sudden burst of happiness, invites Philip to dinner. How heartwarming. Philip, after what feels like eons, enjoys an organic meal, because nothing says romance like scavenging for food in a post-apocalyptic world. The bombshell drops when the topic of coitus comes up. Philip, ever the romantic, declares he's ready to sleep with Carol. But surprise, Carol, our virtuous heroine, wants to wait until marriage. Cue the laughter, right? Oh no, she's dead serious. In a plot twist that nobody saw coming, they decide to tie the knot the next day. Because why not? Fast forward to the church scene, where Philip, the reluctant groom, thinks this whole wedding thing is unnecessary. But hey, he plays along. As they step out, a crowd of guests greets them, and Philip realizes he's made a grave mistake. Cue the screams only for him to wake up in bed, relieved it was all just a dream. Thank the heavens. But wait, Carol isn't done with her grand plans. She suggests electing the President of the United States by voting. Of course, Philip, in a brilliant move, elects himself unanimously. Because who needs democracy when you're the last voter on Earth? Skipping ahead, it's finally the day of the wedding. Carol, the industrious bride-to-be, preps decorations and cake, while Philip's assigned the crucial task of getting rings. Instead, he throws a bachelorette party for his ball buddies, setting fire to random things. Because what's a celebration without a touch of chaos? As they reach the part where they exchange rings, Carol realizes Philip forgot them. Oops! She calls off the wedding, and Philip, the master of redemption, knocks on her door. When she doesn't respond, he does the sensible thing, breaks down the front door with a hammer. Surprise! Carol has actually put effort into decorating. In a heartfelt apology, Philip admits he doesn't like her personality or her food. Still, he's grateful she exists because without her, he wouldn't be alive. The sweetest backhanded compliment ever. They decide to do something special, and guess what? A trip to a jewelry shop. Carol gets all the rings she wants, and they finally become husband and wife. But the honeymoon? Oh boy. The night of passion is filled with Carol's incessant talking and strange remarks that she thinks are hot. The next morning, she finds Philip playing racquetball, and to everyone's shock, she joins in. They spend the rest of the day doing things Philip normally does. Cheers to love, laughter, and surviving the end of the world. Ah, the epitome of a perfect, harmonious marriage. Fireproof suits, bulldozing beer cans, and quality time with Philip's ex-girlfriend, who happens to be a mannequin. Because nothing says relationship goals like beating up an inanimate object for hitting on your husband. In a moment of apparent marital bliss, Philip is surprisingly glad he married Carol. Because, nothing strengthens the bonds of matrimony like assaulting a mannequin together. But hold on, the plot thickens. As they're cruising back home in their post-apocalyptic chariot, they magically collide with a limo at a junction. What's this? A beautiful woman steps out of the limo, and suddenly, Philip's fleeting happiness with his wife turns into regret faster than you can say, "I do." Cheers to the wonders of married life.